Hey, my name is Roxanne Webster, Maps coach here. Jennifer, introduce yourself to us.
Hi, I am Jenn Saliba with Keller Williams Hoover, owner of Saliba Homes, and I am a realtor, a husband and wife duo realtor, but my husband is missing because he doesn't like to be on camera. So
That's right. That's right. Which is fine. You're the one who should be on here anyway. And the
I'm the
reason I
prettier of the two.
say that is that you've been in business for how many years now before Jonathan joined you?
So this was my fifth year before Jonathan joined.
Fifth year.
Mhm.
And when I took a look at your numbers, I pull numbers in January for all of my coaching clients. And I saw that the number one solo agent in your market was, can't remember the number. It was a little bit north of 14 million in volume produced, right? And that you personally, without Jonathan, produced 19 million yourself.
Yes,
And then you
yes.
added him, and he started in July and managed to close another 2 million in transactions. So your group or team or whatever we're calling it did 21 million in volume in its first 4 months, right? To get
Yes.
5 months. Does that sound right?
It does sound right. Jonathan definitely hit the ground running, and I don't think I've slept all of 2025.
I love that. You know what I really like about this story, your story of success, is that, I see people who expand their business for a whole lot of different reasons, right? Sometimes they expand the business because they think you're supposed to have a team. They expand it because a friend approaches them and says, "Can I work with you?" Right?
Right.
What I see almost the least often is people expanding their business because it's time for it to expand. It's grown to the point that it needs help. And that's what
Yes.
you did here. Last year after you were, I remember several calls where I think I was scraping you off the ceiling because you were doing everything by yourself and you hired a good lead admin and then you hired your husband away from corporate America. And so now just three of you are up at that 21 million in production. And this year is shaping up to be having that admin allowed you to start doing some things more consistently into your personal database and into farm areas that I think is just going to start exponentially increasing your numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the addition of our admin really took a lot of weight off that backside. That was not at some point when you are growing, you don't want to forget where you came from. And for me, I could not burn the candle at both ends anymore and do it to the degree that my people deserve to be
That's
taken
right.
care of. Just because we're not actively doing business this year doesn't mean that they haven't been a part of my success story. So the loving on them and the nurturing on them has always been critical for my business. That I am a relationshipist, and adding that admin allowed just such a deeper level to come in and really tackle those nurtures that needed to be there to show my past clients how important they are to where I'm going because they're who built my business.
I was talking with another coaching client a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about exactly this. And this woman has got a phenomenal return on her database. If everybody's got kind of your Mets database that is a casual Mets database. Not everybody, but most agents have got a lot of names in their database that aren't real, right? They might as well be
Right.
cold calls or circle calls. Just folks that you got their name off of some list 100 years ago, you met them somewhere, you didn't keep in touch with them. That is a large portion of mine. So if I take a look at, if we took a look at the 700 names she had in her database and drilled it down to who are the ones that she's really in a relationship with, that number was something like 100
That's good.
names, out of which she pulled 24 closings last year.
Wow.
That's a 24% turn rate.
It's incredible. That's
That's
absolutely incredible.
incredible.
And our great thing with our database and having the admin come on, it really was able to nurture that VIP group as well. So it's not just those close clients; it's the people who haven't done business with me that continue to give my name to their friends and family.
I love that. What are
That
you doing in the past? What have you instituted in the last year with those folks?
So really, it's making sure that they're getting those quarterly Popeyes. That's really been huge. Cassandra's my boots on the ground. We really, brainstorm of how can we love on them. Girl Scout cookies have been a favorite, so we just deliver Girl Scout cookies to everybody's door. But
If you decide to drive from Alabama to Colorado, I like the peanut butter ones.
I will make sure that you have peanut butter cookies coming your way. They are fantastic. And one of my clients, her daughters, both of them are Girl Scout cookie salesmen. And when I tell you they are salesmen, they are salesmen. So I've got a direct source. And that's also great. I'm getting to support my clients in the needs that they have, right? So supporting their daughters with selling those cookies, right? That's huge for me to be able to give back to the people who have given to me. So that was one of the fun things. The other thing that we are doing is this year we're doing a Saliba social, which is super exciting. And our VIPs are absolutely on that list to come and have a casual drink with us, a cocktail or a mocktail, whatever is, your style. And
Right.
just let it be on us. Let us pay for the tab. And you just get to have a moment where you can breathe. So
That's
those are the exciting things that have been able to come out of having somebody that's working on the marketing side, the collateral, the communication that needs to be there in order to make these events successful.
I was thinking about exactly this, right? That if I look at my world, there are relationships that are maintained and deepened naturally.
Mhm.
Obviously friends, close friends, and family, right? Um, a part of our challenge as our business grows, is the things that you naturally do to deepen a relationship with that inner circle. If we can expand that to a larger circle of people, um, so that that relationship is deepened with those people, it's all about the relationships, right?
Agreed.
And, I remember being at a mastermind years ago when Gary Keller was talking about having an assistant who reminded him when to give a birthday card to his most valued assistants, right? Or
Yeah.
the assistants for him. And listening to him talk about it, on one side, one could say, oh, how impersonal is that? You've got somebody telling you when to say happy birthday. What I realized listening to him talk about it is this is a guy who cares very deeply about people, right? And if somebody can just remind him, hey, this person that you care very deeply about values birthday cards, it takes him 2 seconds and he can be giving them a communication that speaks their love language and shows them what he already has in his heart, which is that he really cares about and values them. So systematizing those relationships as that number of people that goes up, that is not disingenuous. I think it is just systematizing who you are and how you express your heart and how you feel about and value people. That's what I see.
No, that's 100%. So for the addition of my admin, right? What it allowed me to make the shift where I started this business so relationship focused. I would hand bake a dozen cookies every year and go hand deliver them. We were hand delivering candles. We were hand delivering and really staying on top of that base. Well, that base just grew, 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 grew. And what sadly had happened became transactional.
That's
And
right.
that's uncomfortable for me. That is not the business model of Saliba Homes. Saliba Homes is founded in relationships. I mean, we're a husband and wife duo. So, like, I mean, that's the literal foundation of our business.
That's
So,
right.
the addition of the admin and understanding it, which you had to push me a little bit, and I appreciate that because it's an uncomfortable place to take on the support of somebody else and know that you are responsible for making sure that paycheck's in their bank account for all
That's
their
right.
hard work, right? It makes you work harder in the uncomfortableness. But what she was able to do has been worth her weight in gold coming back to the relationship side of things,
That's right.
right?
She
And it allows
helps
me
you
to do what
get
I
back to the person that you've always been.
absolutely, and it
I
allowed me to have that bandwidth to really, really shine where I shine. We talk about that a lot in our coaching calls about the difference between Jonathan and myself, right? Where I'm the shaking hands and kissing babies, and he's really this like logical, balance to me.
He's the numbers.
So where,
Yeah,
oh yeah, where I come up with the harebrained schemes over here, and Jonathan's like, I don't want to do that, and I'm like, somewhere in the middle we meet. We could not do that without the taking on the leap to grow and
that's
the
right.
conquering the fear to grow. I think that that's what you have to do with me a lot is kind of bring me back down. And for that, adding coaching also, I would say before growing. Hi, Roxanne, this is my shout out to you. I'd been told for 4 years at KW, you need a coach. You got to have a coach. You should, and I'd go, I don't need any of that. And I finally just got to the point where I said, okay, I cannot, I can't get focused. And adding you to my business first was the best thing that I did for my business because you've helped me organize and you've helped me execute. Whereas I want to pull the trigger on 95 projects tomorrow, you're like, no. And
You
I
did
think you
time. Right.
hold me accountable. That for me, I needed that accountability, right? We started a little soft and you over time have toughened up on me. You call me on my BS, which I don't always love, but I need. I need. And you saw the holes in the business. So coming in and listening and being guided by somebody who has done this so well in her career has been inspirational to me. So I
Awesome.
thank you for that. The the
Thank
the
you.
the coaching portion, it has been phenomenal. And I'm excited to what you see in Jonathan and myself. Like, and you see how his talents can best be served and how my talents can best be served. And you've encouraged us to farm this year, which we are now in the middle of doing our first farming campaign. So we are week 5 in our week in our farm.
That's
Um,
excellent.
So
And when you put that all together, farming, you're a relationship person. Now you've got the admin support. I see a lot of people do 3 mailers into a farm and give up on it because they haven't become the mayor of their little farm. When it's a long game and it's a long game
it
of
is.
consistency. But if you've got somebody behind the scenes doing the consistency to deliver those messages to that farm, and then you can show up and be the relationship splendor, which you are, that's a sweet spot. I'm really excited to see what 2026 holds for you.
I am excited too. And yes, I have not become the mayor yet. I am solely disappointed, but Jonathan is the realist, right? He's the realist. He's like, it will happen.
That's right.
So, I appreciate the opportunity to be in communication with you and to be in community with you. You are such an inspiration to our business, and we are excited to see 2026 as well.
Me too. Me too. Well, thanks for taking the time to visit this morning. I will see you later this week.
I'll see you Monday.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.